You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's cracking? East the motherfucking deal, man. It's your friendly neighborhood man, J5TH. We live and direct, man. Shalom, peace and blessings. Great evening, grand rising, whatever it is to you, man. Wherever you are on that side of the globe, man. What up? What's cracking? You're now rocking with your man. We here, we live on another great episode of the Patio PolitiCz. We're about to be talking about something deep. But before I get off into the topic, make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. Pray that y'all week have started off lovely and great, you know, on this lovely, lovely Tuesday. But today we're going to be talking about something special, man. When it's time to separate. Yes, we're going to be talking about when it's time to separate and the power of purpose. The power of purpose. Oftentimes in life, man, we got to know when it's time to separate, and we have to know, like, the great power, not only in separation, but within our purpose. Because when we're moving in purpose, a lot of times we have to separate. Remember, separation breeds elevation. We got to be able to do that and understand the difference between the two. And I'm going to be breaking down, we're going to talk about a story in the Bible, right? Coming out of Genesis. Some of you guys might be familiar with it. Some of you guys may not, but I'm going to break it down the greatest way I know how. But we're going to be talking about the story between Abraham and his nephew Lot. You already know, those that do know the situation with that. I'll break it down, though, once we come back from the theme. So y'all don't go nowhere. Stay live, stay here, man. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Again, we're going to be talking about when it's time to separate and the power of purpose. So y'all don't go nowhere, man. We'll be back after this. Let's get it.
We hope you stay a while, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's right for life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuts that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you're rocking with us, Patio PolitiCz is gonna do you right. Oh, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like, whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Oh, trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Ooh. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. We hope you stay a while.
Yes, we hope you stay a while. And if you don't, I'm gonna come get you, man, and drop some of this knowledge upon you. You feel me? Welcome back, man, to the Patio PolitiCz. We got a dope, phenomenal episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about when it's time to separate. You got people in your life, man, or have you ever had people in your life that you really just needed to, you start feeling kind of iffy about, whether if there were assets, liabilities, or unsures, and you felt the need to separate from them, or that you need to separate just to get a better peace of mind, you know, a peace of mind, a piece of clarity, and it all was in alignment with your purpose, you know? But we need to understand something, that when it's time to separate, we got to understand the power of our purpose. Because in order for us to understand the power of our purpose, it may require a lot of us to separate from certain people that God don't want us holding on to. You get what I'm saying? So before I dive into it, man, if y'all new to the show, that's what we're going to be talking about when it's time to separate and the power of purpose, man. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for rocking with your rider. We're going to dive off into it. So before I got off into the theme, I was talking about the story in the Bible. It's a story about a man named Abraham and his nephew Lot. Now, Abraham and Lot, they were herdsmen, and their herds grew too big. You get what I'm saying? And because of that, strife broke out amongst the herdsmen, Abraham and Lot, right? So Abraham, who was gifted in wisdom, he offered his nephew Lot a choice of land, right? Just stay following me. He offered him a choice of land, and Lot chose the more fertile plains, the more prettier area, the more bigger, larger area of the land near Sodom. Now, if I'm gonna break it down to you, Abraham was much older and he was wise, humble and all that. So, he took Lot, say, on the hill and was like, okay, man, what side of, we got this side over here that you could choose from, or this side of the land, which one you want to choose? And before he could say thank you, he's like, I want this side. Took his folks and went over there. Now, this was next to Sodom. Now, we gonna call those that are from Los Angeles, South Central California, no. Those that are out of towners, I'm going to just simply break it down so y'all can understand. Let's compare Sodom, because this is where the land that Lot chose, it was close to Sodom. Sodom would be like Hollywood. Let's say Hollywood-ish. Hollywood, Beverly Hills-ish, and all that. It looked good. It looked good from the outside, from where they were sitting at the hill, right? So in the midst of Lot picking that, he didn't say thank you, no type of shit like that. He just ran to the land because of how it looked. Now, we know what Sodom and Gomorrah ended up turning into later on in that chapter. Sodom and Gomorrah was turned, but Lot didn't know that. He was just being who he was, immature-minded, saying, fuck it, I'm going to pick this land because it looked better than that. And Abraham, he stayed in the land of Canaan, where God reestablished his covenant. Now, at first, when Abraham seen that Lot took Hollywood and Beverly Hills, it looked glamorous. You got the Hollywood sign, the nice houses, all this other type of stuff. And it was near, again, let's keep in mind, it was near Sodom. Now, we remember what I compared Sodom and Gomorrah to. It's like Hollywood, right? Hollywood. And we know what happens in Hollywood. Now, in Canaan, at first, man, when Abraham was looking, Sodom, where Lot picked, it looked like it was everything. It looked big. Lot done took his people. We like, man, we up out of here. Come on, fuck all this. We got this land. No thank you, no nothing. So Abraham looking around in his little area right here, he like, damn, man. He looking at Canaan like, damn, this it? He looking at them get turned. They all running down with their herds. They about to get litty. They own. So Abraham is looking like, damn, this all I got. So God is like, man, look at it. And then he like really looked though. So as Abraham is turning looking, God is pulling the shade away. And it's more land. By the time he got further in Canaan, he looked down, man, the little area that Lot had, or the area that Lot chose, was so small, barely could see it. And then those that know the Bible know what ended up happening in Sodom and Gomorrah. Today, we are living in a Sodom and Gomorrah era, especially us so-called African Americans, or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm going to compare Canaan to South Central, Carson, Compton, Gardena, Southgate, Paramount, Downey, all these areas. You get what I'm saying? Long Beach, San Pedro. See, once Abraham started looking, because he was down on himself like, damn, this is all I got. And then once God started moving the shade back and showing him, nah, this is really what you got. Don't trip off that. You humble. Let him do what he do. Yahweh already knew his fate. Lot. That's Lot, for being who he was. But he like, look, Abraham, this all for you right here. Take this. Abraham like, damn, okay. Whoop-de-wop. So I'm using that as a catalyst of the separation. A lot of times when we're moving in the power of purpose, it requires us to separate. And we got to think, right? We going to talk about purpose over proximity, or whatever the case may be. Yes, Abraham and Lot, they were family. They were locked in. But because of purpose, it demanded them to have space from each other. Now think about times in your life. Have you had family members or close friends or associates in your life that you guys were locked in and you were close, whether it was by blood or by seniority and years, but in order for you to grow, did it require you to separate from them? Oftentimes in life, those be the hardest things and hardest choices for us to make, because we're bound by blood, family ties, et cetera, that we got to hold on to them. We got to hold on to these people. Everybody's loyalty ain't yours. Everybody don't love how you love. And this goes back. I realized the type of individual that I was, or that I am, I'm a giver, man. I love hard. I ride for those that I love. It ain't no in-betweens with me. I'm either with you or I'm not. I either fuck with you or I don't. I either love you or, I don't fuck with you. Ain't no in-betweens. And I realized that with me, I was a lot of people's best friends, but they weren't mine. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any sense.
Message.
I was a lot of people's best friends, but they wasn't mine. A lot of people wasn't giving me what I was giving. They wasn't reciprocating the love, the loyalty, and all that you call I come mentality that I was giving and all that. And we at a point, man, in life. Have you ever been in a point in your life where you just start really looking at your circle to where like, damn, I got all these people surrounded by me, but I still feel alone? That's not a great place to be. You get what I'm saying? Everyone in your circle ain't assigned to your destiny. They not. And that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of us. I testify to that. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to say that shit again. Everybody in your circle ain't assigned to your destiny. As much as we may want them to be, they not, because they're not in perfect alignment or in spiritual alignment with our divine purpose or who God wants us to be. A lot of times and oftentimes people hold us back from who God wants us to be. So that's why within our purpose, the power purpose, it requires us to separate from a lot of people. Now, when we think about Lot represents, let's see, Lot represents those connected by blood, but not by covenant, if that makes sense to y'all, right? That's how Lot is. When you think about Lot, think about your close family members and your close friends. And it's like, just because y'all came up together, it don't mean that y'all gonna rise together. Because their purpose may be different from yours. Or they might not be where God is gonna take you to be. You know, you might be here spiritually or just elevation wise. They might be here and they may be content with staying here. And again, those that know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot, man, they was down there getting turned. They was down there getting turned. What Hollywood is today, that's what Sodom and Gomorrah was. The state of being that we living in now, where it's these where you got you got transformers, you got all these different things that are against God and his word. Parties, everybody liking everybody. They coming up with these different sexuals. I can like boys, I can like girls, I can like transgenders, I can like everybody shit. I can like animals, I can like children. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. That's Sodom and Gomorrah type shit. And we all know the ultimate fate and what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah. Yahweh, aka the Most High, tore that motherfucker down because it wasn't what it was supposed to be. It wasn't. And Lot and them got crazy. Lot of them got crazy, you know. Lot of them got crazy. And we know what happened. We know what happened when Yahweh started tearing that shit down. Everybody that was associated with Sodom and Gomorrah, remember when they looked back, when they heard people screaming and all that, they turned it to a grain of salt. When God put Lot on his assignment, even his wife looked back and turned it to because of what she heard. So shit was crazy. But man, we're going to keep unpacking and getting deep. Don't go nowhere. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. We're going to be back in a tick on the Patio PolitiCz. It's your man, J5th. Yeah.
A culmination of powerful properties that create balance and produce good energy. Cultivating a culture of mindfulness is a daily battle. We target your inner me. Physiological effects, change you can truly feel. Aesthetically pleasing on the surface, but handmade to help you heal.
Yes, sir.
You
yes,
are
sir.
now
We here, we
rocking
live.
with the Patio PolitiCz.
Welcome back to the show, man. If you just tuning in, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We on the road to 1K. 1K will soon turn into 2K. 2K will prayerfully turn into 50K and all that, man. We reaching one soul at a time. Each one teach one. That's what we building on. But we're talking about the power of purpose and when it's time to separate. Now, before we went into break, we was just breaking down the story of Lot and Abraham, how Abraham allowed Lot to choose first, choose which land he wanted. Lot chose what may be the prettier looking side of the land, that was near Sodom, aka baby hell, and Abraham went his way. We must understand that when Yahweh puts us on assignment and send us down the road, everybody is not meant to come with us, whether they bound by blood, gears, whatever the case may be. Because they may be bound by blood, meaning family, but they may not, be bound by covenant or whatever the case may be. And oftentimes it'd be hard for us to understand that because we want to take everybody with us, towards success or when it's divine purpose and that purpose is fulfilling, self-fulfilling, or just gratifying. We want to take everybody with us because we want them to feel how we feel. And everybody's not meant to travel that road down us. And look, I felt like Lot, the road he chose, the road to hell is paved with good and gold. You get what I'm saying? It looks good. It's paved with gold, and it seems like it has good intentions, but it got bad company. And we have to learn to have the proper discernment to discern that. Especially with, when you think of Sodom and Gomorrah and the times that we living in now, man, it ain't no rules and regulations to nothing no more. Everybody playing for keeps. Nobody believes in loyalty no more. The snitch get praised. You got snitches getting out of jail. You get what I'm saying? It used to be a point in time where if you was a snitch, man, you already know. That goes without saying. Off with his head. Now we have different wars on podcasts where our people is tearing each other down left and right. It's so much shit in this world to talk about that can uplift us, but we're so drama filled. And when you think of the children of Israel, that's why we were punished and held in captivity and slavery, because we were so fucking hard-headed. We just didn't get it and we didn't listen. And even now to this day, it's one thing with being ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. But it's another thing with stupidity. When you ignorant, that means you lack knowledge. But when you're stupid, that means you know better, but you still are choosing to not do better. And to be honest, the truth is a hard pill to swallow, but we stupid as fuck, man. Just our people. We are. We don't want to get it. And that's the sad part about this life in these times that we living in. You know what I'm saying? Don't take who God told you to leave. I'm going to repeat myself. Do not take who God told you to leave. It's a reason why he told you that. And because of our emotions and everything.
Get out your feelings. You mad? Get out your feelings.
Because of our feelings and emotions, we want to carry these people with us that God told us to leave a long time ago. And we wonder why we don't get to that next step. We wonder why we don't reach ascension. We wonder why we don't elevate. Because God said move along from them. And we wanted to move them with us, being disobedient. You get what I'm saying? Proximity breeds comfort, but separation creates clarity. It does. Separation creates clarity, a clear mind of understanding, and the things that we need to change about ourselves and where we're going. You get what I'm saying? We have to understand the blessing is in the break. The blessing is in the breaks that we take in life, especially from people who are not an asset in our life. And then we have to look in the book of Genesis 13, chapter 13, verse 14. After Lot separated from Abraham, God spoke to Abraham. See what I'm saying? When God tell you to move along and leave somebody, man, he's doing it for a reason so he can speak to you. A lot of times we keep people in our life and they be a deterrent or a distraction for us. But pay attention to that. God didn't speak to Abraham until he separated himself from Lot. Lot's presence blocked revelation. Excuse me, Shalaki. Lots of presence block revelation. Think about it. How many lots y'all got in y'all life, man? Take time to think about all the lots that you got in your life and how they may have blocked your blessings or whatnot because of them being in your life. And you never realize this shit when they're in your life and in your presence. You always realize this shit when they're away from you. You ever feel like when they're away from you, it's just a big weight lifted off your shoulder? You know what I'm saying? You feel like a fresh breath of air, a sense of peace, a peace of mind, a peace of spirit. Just where you like, man. And when they come back around, you feel this weight on you. That's not what love is. Love is not supposed to feel like that. You know, it's not. They're a distraction. And they'll deter you from the word of God, from the relationship of God. You know what I'm saying? Some relationships in your life is muting the voice of God because you're too distracted to hear him speak to you. Now you got to understand yourself. Are you being loyal to someone who's stalling your assignment or what? Ask yourself that question. You got to ask yourself that. Am I being loyal to someone who's stalling my assignment and blocking my blessings and preventing me from reaching the next level? You got to ask yourself that. Shit, a lot of people be in our lives and don't even know they're a hindrance or a deterrent. You know what I'm saying? The moment you realize dead weight, you elevate. Point blank, period. That's anything you do in life. The moment that you realize dead weight and you move away from it or separate yourself from it, again, knowing when it's time to separate, when you separate yourself or get that dead weight off you, man, you elevate. You be able to spread your wings and fly. You're not restricted. You're not restricted. And then we got to pay attention to the people who know that they are blocking our blessings. You got to start asking yourself, damn, who sent you? Or not who sent them, but you got to ask them too, who sent you? You know? Really, who sent you? You got to call them out. Who sent you? What are you here for? What's your purpose? Why? Why when you come around, I feel this heaviness on my spirit? You get what I'm saying? Again, in order for Abraham to hear Yahweh's voice, God's voice, he had to be separated from Lot. You get what I'm saying? Yahweh ain't gonna move until you ready. He's not gonna speak until you ready to listen. They have an ancient proverb, a great ancient proverb. When a student is ready, the teacher appears. All right? When a student is ready to listen, ready to learn, the teacher appears. Oftentimes, we think we're ready for things in life and we're not. And we wonder why we're not furthering ourselves in life. Man, take it from, I've allowed myself to be held back because I wanted to take so many people with me on my journey or conquest that wasn't meant to come with me. And it was hard for me to understand because some were family. Some were very, very close friends. So-called best friends. So-called brothers. You get what I'm saying? So-called brothers. So-called riders. So-called this and that. And it held me back. I held me back. I have to take accountability for, seeing the red flags and the signs and giving people the benefit of the doubt. Have you ever gave too many people the benefit of the doubt and then it comes back to bite you in the ass in the long run where you sitting like, damn, I should have paid attention? You get what I'm saying? Never allow a person to show you who they are twice. Shame on them the first time. Shame on us the other 100 times that we want to ignore who they truly are. Again, separation breeds elevation. Sometimes your mountain is a person you refuse to let go. That's why I brought that up. Sometimes it's a mountain. Sometimes your mountain is the person that you refuse to let go in life. How many mountains you had in your life? Think about it. How many? How many you got in your life right now that you're attempting to break away from? They got a saying, they say 2 birds tied together may have 4 wings, but they can't fly. You get what I'm saying? They can't fly because they tied together. That's the reason for that. Some of us are tied to people, our wings are tied to people who tied that shit on purpose. So we can't fly because they don't want us to elevate. They don't want God to speak to us, because if God speaks to us, he's going to tell us the truth about who they really are. He's going to show us who they really are. Come on now. We talking about when it's time to separate in the power of purpose. It's time to walk in your purpose. How many lots do you have in your life? You heard me? Answer that question. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a tick on the Patio PolitiCz. Y'all don't go nowhere. Yes, sir.
I just don't trust them. Never trust a hired man. If he'll serve you for one price, he'll for sure serve another for a higher one.
Man, it was this one time, before we even took the council to the level it is, Khaled looked me dead in my eyes, Mike, and he asked me, was I ready?
Shit's still brewing up out there from all that other shit. But you know I'm not one for running and hiding. But we need to be ready for what's about to come.
Said it again. Messiah Williams.
Yes, man. I didn't get your name, son.
Excuse my friend. He's not into politics either.
I see.
Sound like you're having regrets.
Nah, not regrets. Because at the end of the day, that's the price you pay, taking matters into your own hands to bring about justice in a community that you love.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
Yes, sir. What up, world? Shalom, peace and blessings to you. Thank you for rocking with your friendly neighborhood man, J5TH, your man, J5. J5 from the east side. We here, we live and direct, talking about when it's time to separate and the power of purpose. If you just now tuning in, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We've been breaking down the story of Lot and Abraham. And before we went on break, I asked you guys out there, how many of you have lots in your life? Really think about that. I pray that you guys really thought about that, you know? And then look at it off top. Let's go back to the beginning of the story when Abraham said, okay, what side of the land you wanted to choose? Instead of being humble, Lot said, fuck it, I'm going to choose over here. I'm over here in Hollywood, man. Beverly Hills, it look good. Ooh. Boom, boom, boom. Didn't even say thank you. You get what I'm saying? Lot chose the look and not legacy. Lot chose the look and not legacy. Now, Lot doesn't just have to be a family member. It can be somebody you're in a relationship with. It can be your girlfriend, your boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? It could be that. It could be your homeboy, your homegirl, your comrade. You get what I'm saying? It could be one of your so-called rounds. It could be all that. It could be a coworker. It could be somebody you work with. It could be a teammate. Sad to say, it could be a teammate. You get what I'm saying? Lot chose Sodom because it looked good. He wasn't thinking about legacy or nothing. He prioritized pleasure over principle. That's what he did. lot prioritize pleasure over principle. And whenever we do that, y'all know the drill. Y'all know the deal. We are a people that are overly obsessed in this day and age with look, clout, status, aesthetics, but we ignore substance. We ignore substance. It's not that we lack substance, we just ignore it because we want to clout chase. We want the aesthetics. We want what looks good. And that's where we go wrong every single time, man. Everything that glitters ain't gold. That's facts. And y'all ever heard that saying or walk by faith and not by sight? Scripture. Lot, he walked by sight. And Abraham, he walked by faith. And those that walk by faith, the faith walkers out there, y'all know how hard it be a lot of times to walk by faith. Man, y'all know how hard it gets sometimes. But we still do it, even if it's just a mustard seed of faith. And that was the reason I asked y'all, how many lots y'all have in y'all circle that chose comfort over calling? Think about that. All the people in your life, again, whether it's somebody you're in a relationship with, you married to, family members, co-workers, teammates, people that you have in your inner circle. How many people in your life have chose comfort over calling because shit look good or whatever the case may be? A lot of people don't understand that many people are destroyed because of what they desire. And not even because of what they desire. Many people are destroyed based on their desires. Our desires can be carnal, man. It's a lot of wild shit out there, man. And we got to really pay attention to what God is showing us. That's why I wanted y'all to ask yourselves that. We often in life, we got to do inventory and just, man, be able to write out who's our lots, who's this and that. Because when we're going through this life, man, it's hard to trust people when you're a giver. And don't allow the lots in your life to prevent you from continuing to be an Abraham. Somebody who's walking in wisdom, walking in purpose. Somebody who's choosing calling over comfort. Don't allow that. Our eyes are easily deceived, but our soul sees the truth in everything. In everything in life. A lot of times we can't trust our eyes. But one entity, one thing can't work without the other. Your brain is connected to your eyes. Your eyes are connected to your brain. Your brain connected to your body. Everything, you need everything hand in hand to work with one another because each part of our organs communicate with the next to let us know what we feeling and all these other things. You get what I'm saying? And that's how it is. You got to ask yourself, man, just how many lots I got now in my life and start to do inventory to where you got to clean house and do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. And then don't forget, if we remember the story correctly, Abraham had to come bail his ass out. Abraham had to come bail his ass out. The same person who did you dirty, who chose comfort over calling, who wasn't humble, didn't even say thank you, attempted to take the bigger piece of land, you had to come rescue the motherfucker. Now just think how many lots do you guys have in your life? Who is your lot right now that you got to constantly rescue again and again and again and again and again? Ask yourself that. Who is a lot in my life? Ask yourself this. What looks good but ain't God? What looks good in my life but ain't God? Even if you think you know who these people are, just still ask yourself that, because it's going to help you identify what you need to do and how you need to move. And I'm wanting to tell you, the separation it's not an easy task, but it's necessary. It's necessary if you want to grow, if you want to elevate. and if you want to be a greater version of yourself. Ask yourself what blessings you might be blocking by refusing to release someone. Ask yourself that. What blessings am I blocking because I refuse to be obedient? I refuse to release someone who I can't let go. Remember, I told y'all, holding on to shit for too long, you're going to get drugged. And once you begin to get drugged, things start to fall apart, piece by piece by piece, in the most painful and excruciating way. Is your peace worth more than that partnership? Ask yourself that, because a partnership requires two people. Partnership requires two people to be working hard together for a common goal. Come on now. I got a task for y'all, man. This week, I challenge all my viewers to write down your Lots and Abrahams. Who do you need to separate from, and who do you need to go on your journey with? Really do that, and you're going to see. I know a lot of us don't like writing shit down. It's like, nah. But you need to. You need to, because that's going to help you identify who's an asset in your life and who's a liability. And if they're a liability, man, you got to leave them to the wayside and pray for them and pray that God delivers them from being a liability. And prayerfully, your ascension can motivate them to wanting to become a asset as well, Shalaki, because they may be tied to a bunch of lots themselves. You get what I'm saying? Remember, man, when Sodom and Gomorrah, that shit was cracking. Parties, threesomes, menage a trois, all that. Man, Sodom and Gomorrah was a city of Diddy parties. You get what I'm saying? That's really what it was. Or freak offs. That shit was cracking. But like I tell y'all, everything that glitters ain't gold. You know? Sometimes in life, Yahweh can't show you more. He can't show you more until you let go of less. You get what I'm saying?
Message.
Sometimes God can't show you more until you let go of less. Period. And that's because obedience is a door to abundance. And that's facts. And if you want to walk through that door, you got to be in perfect alignment with the Most High, man. You have to be. And I ain't even, let me not say that, because we are not perfect. You don't have to be in perfect alignment, but you have to seek his face, man. You have to talk to him. You have to be honest. The beauty of it is, it says that in the Bible, whether you're religious or not, you have to have a relationship with some higher power or some higher entity and being than yourself. You have to. Whether it's Yahweh, Allah, God. You get what I'm saying? But you cannot go further in life if you are tied and bound to the lots in your life. Period. You get what I'm saying? What if your next blessing is waiting on your next boundary? That's heavy. What if your next blessing is waiting on your boundary? Come on now. Don't be afraid to let go of those who serve you no purpose in life. Don't be afraid to let go and release those that are not giving and reciprocating what you are giving. And do not allow them to stop you from being who God has called you to be. Do not allow them to change you from being a loving, caring individual, giving individual. Continue to be that. And once you let go of that dead weight, watch you be free as a bird to fly wherever God is going to take you. Be ready for it and have faith. So that's the show today. I'm going to keep it brief and short. Man, make sure y'all write that down. Write down who your Lots are, who your Abrahams are, and do your inventory, man, and start cleaning house. Know when to separate and understand your power of purpose. This your friendly man, J5 from the East Side, doing what I do. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me on this beautiful, beautiful, lovely Tuesday evening. Until the next show, I love you guys. Keep it riding. It's a rider for life thing. Y'all know how we do, man. East Side.